Okay, so we're taking a look at rhyming pattern in poetry of the English language. Uh, so I've got four examples for you. There is the classic, or the most simple kind, A, and we'll take a look at what that looks like. So I shot an arrow into the air. It fell to earth, I know not where. Air and where rhyme. For so swiftly it flew, the sight could not follow it in its flight. Sight, flight rhyme. So these are four lines, and altogether these four lines comprise what we call a stanza. And a stanza is the most basic unit within a pattern that repeats. So all patterns are characterized by repetition, right? So a stanza is the unit that repeats. So you'll notice throughout the whole poem, this pattern will repeat. So this line rhymes with this line. This line rhymes with this line. And this line, strong rhymes with song. Oak rhymes with broke. End rhymes with friend. So yeah, you can see how that pattern goes. And here it's the same thing. For our next pattern, it's the same rule, but it's going to be a different pattern. Instead of AABB, we have ABAB. So bed does not rhyme with grew. In the next line instead, bed rhymes with head, and grew rhymes with view. Sort of. That's actually not a perfect rhyme, but whatever. Yeah, flower, bower, fair, there. Bloom, perfume, arrayed, shade, rayed, shade. Go, grow, see, sort of, humility. Yeah, so that's that pattern. So these stanzas, these poems had two sounds. Within any given stanza, there are a total of only two ending sounds. But there can be more than two. In this pattern, sometimes we can have three. So you see here, ooh, sorry, the spacing is messed up, whatever. So, night, sight, height. Way doesn't rhyme with anything yet. Then we see train, rain, vein, and we're wondering what way didn't rhyme anything. Oh, and the last line, way finally rhymes with they, and then the pattern repeats. Crest, dressed, breast, spread, fear, spear, near, head. So spread and head. So yeah, you see slept, crept, stepped, seen, sheen, and trees, bees, these. So the pattern always repeats. And by the way, one thing you'll notice is, see how here A is night, but here A is crest? So the sound A doesn't have to stay the same between different stanzas. Only within a stanza A has to stay the same, and that's the same for all of our poems. You've seen even up here, way at the beginning, A change. You can change A in the next stanza. Air. Well, actually, here it is the same, but you can keep it the same if you want to, but you don't have to, because you can see here later in the next stanza A changed. Oak broke, and you know B always changes. Sight, flight, strong, song, and friend. So, yeah. And then he, three, me, thinking, drinking. Okay, and this pattern right here, A, B, C, B, is actually the pattern to my #1 favorite poem of all time, which I don't think I have it here, but I'll send it to you later if you want. And, yeah. So now it's time for the #1 most complex rhyme pattern that I know of. It might not be the most complex, but it is very complex. And this is one of the most famous poems of all time. It's extremely awesome. It's probably my second favorite poem ever written, and if you've never read it, I strongly recommend for you to read it. It's called The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. It's a horror, sort of spooky poem, which is my favorite kind. And this one, you can see the pattern is actually very complex. You can see it has more than one, within the same line, it has more than one rhyme. This is called an internal rhyme. Dreary, weary in the same line, and then lore, and then napping, tapping, another internal rhyme, a rhyme within the same line. And then we see rapping, door. So rapping rhymes with napping and tapping in the previous line, so see. And door rhymes with a sound from 2 lines ago. So we have A, A, B, C, 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 B. And then here, this is not a rhyme. Remember, a rhyme is an ending sound that sounds similar. Is this an ending sound that sounds similar? Is door sound similar to door? No, it sounds identical. So this is not a rhyme. This is called a repetition. And so I've underlined it. And really I should underline this in our pattern also, because this is not a rhyme, it's a repetition. But more is a rhyme. So lore, door, door, more. So dreary, weary, lore, door, more, napping, tapping, rapping. And if you go all the way through the poem, you'll notice this pattern. Look. Remember December. Oh, sorry, I highlighted the colors wrong. Let's look at the second stanza. Remember December. Floor, Lenore, Lenore repeats, and then evermore. And morrow, borrow, sorrow. Do you notice anything? The pattern is exactly identical to the previous stanza. You see? A, B, C, 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 B, B repeat. Just like door, door, we have Lenore, Lenore, and then evermore, B. And in the third stanza, it's the same thing. A, B, C, 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 B, B repeat, B. And these are only the first 3 stanzas of the poem, but the poem goes on for a very long time. I don't know how many stanzas there are, but it's several. And you can see the pattern never breaks. Poe, I stopped highlighting after a while, but Poe keeps the same complex rhyme pattern for the whole poem, or almost all of the entire poem. And I think that that is a truly remarkable accomplishment of the English language, to tell a story in a way that rhymes in a very complex way. And I'm just curious to know if other languages have this similar art form. So I would love if you would share with me from your language. Okay, thanks. Bye.